Going to be a video where I answer multiple questions and just some thoughts or something I learned throughout my life, and they are different for everybody, how everybody finds their way and what we learn from and how we understand things. And I'm very happy to hear your thoughts and any requests for videos and so on. And one question was about the use of the crowns in ceremonial magic, and I don't. Since, first of all, there might be two different reasons. There is that thought that many have, that to be recognized by the spirits you need to have a golden crown so that you look like a ruler, so you can command spirits. That are very common. And then there's the thing that if you have seen an Orthodox priest, he has, or a Catholic bishop, they have these mithras and really a lot, and spectres and all these things in gold. And what I don't like about that is that when normal people can't have that gold, and that's something that the church is used, that you can call upon the spirits when you wear gold. So, being a rebel, no way. I won't put a crown on my head. So, I called on the angels without that. And it worked just fine. And then there is that, what I'm always trying to get through, that is difficult, that non-action can be more harmful than a badly executed action, and even a poor choice. And that is since that even when you make a poor choice, you feel better about it in hindsight if something goes bad. At least you tried. And that is when people stay indifferent and don't act. And if something goes bad for the person they are trying to help, or they are too afraid to help, or anything like that, it's better to make a conscious decision, yes or no. Since if something goes bad, you have made a clear decision. And that way the spirits know also that you have made a clear decision. So they respect you for making that decision. So it is just something to think about, that don't be so afraid of making decisions. It's easier to live with yourself even if you made a bad decision once. And then I had this question: can addiction problems be a part of unintended healing? Yes, I believe they can, since I believe that addiction often is caused by a soul wound that is a spiritual thing. And soul wounds are the way that addictions and darkness can enter into our lives, since they are so painful. They are not like wounds in real life. They can hide and they can grow, and they are an easy entry point. So yes, I believe that. And when, let's say that addiction goes so bad that you are forced to find help and start to fight it, that's when the spirits are very, very ready to help you as well. And also that trauma that shocks you to the core can be a cause of addiction, and that is also a life-changing thing. So it can be a beginning of a beautiful spiritual journey. And then there's the feeling of being ripped apart and being put back together and transformed. And that's something I've been through multiple times. Every time I've been so sure that, let's say that I've been working on a specific tradition for 7 years, I think I've got it together, I can handle it, and now I got this, and well, I get knocked on the head or kicked in the butt. And the angels quite frankly tell you, you got more to learn, so. And then there's also how life happens and hits you with those hard curveballs that are painful in your heart. So, but there is always that, but you get put together again, and then you are completely transformed and you don't even recognize who you are. And that's every 7 years that seems to happen to me. And then there is one other thing that can help in as well. How hard are you inside? And I was very hard inside, caused by pain, and the breaking point, it has to be done. So Raziel broke me quite hardly there, so that I would cry. I had stopped crying for many years since I turned hard inside. And when he cracked me open, I cried for 7 days. And then the healing could begin. And that is just the way it is sometimes. And as soft I can be, but when you're hurt deeply, the hardness grows even harder. And there is a saying in Finland that there is nothing worse than a woman who has lost everything. That's where they are the most cruel and the most hard of things, and I was on the part of... I wasn't cruel, but I was hard. And then I believe that what I've seen so far in my life, that when you see people healing from horrific pains or traumas, and they are different for everyone since they come from different positions in life. Some are rich and have led a sheltered life, and their trauma is something that somebody who comes from a poor country with war, they don't even see it as a trauma, but for that person it's trauma, and you always go from the personal thing that caused them to feel like trauma created. You can't compare lives and people's lives. But that is usually the gift that you are going to be able to help others with right away. Once you start the first steps of healing, you can start to help others to heal. And kindness is not a weakness as many things. Kindness is a strength. And what I'm fearing and what I'm seeing especially in modern society is that people gain power by manipulation and domination, accusing and bullying. And let's say, look at Black Lives Matter. I say that all lives matter. It isn't the question if you're black, white, yellow, red, blue or green. All life matters. And when you're putting in that there were white slaves throughout history, and Abraham Lincoln had slaves, and suddenly people don't seem to remember that. Just go into the libraries in North America and look for belongings or property, and you will see that the slaves were listed under the official documents. And so let's say that there were many countries. You had these countries that were super countries, and they had people as slaves from other countries doing their wars for them. So that is a thing. So you had slaves, white slaves as well. So Africans had other Africans as slaves as well from their different countries. So look at what is happening to each country and don't put any color into it, because that is just wrong. And since there are so many things that goes on, and the balance between dark and light. And I found something that's been really problematic for me, especially when I was young. Since I'm very focused when I read, I love studying and I study hard. And when I read the old grimoires, I started conjuring or making contact with the spirits I didn't want to, unintentionally. So I had to learn to do it in a different way. And that's why when somebody asks me for, let's say, a sigil, I take a photo from the Goetia and post it on Instagram to show them if they are. But I don't draw them. And that is one of the reasons why. And so on. And the balance between. And I had that trouble with the balancing with the, since I was threatened a lot in my life. I've been accused of being worshipper of the S, worshipping demons, practically being Antichrist, and so on. And that being by Christians, by pagans, by atheists, and New Ages, and I don't give a shit. So, I'm me, and I'm honest with what I practice, and I practice with the angels, and that's it. And sometimes I practice with local deities, let's say, like what is under nature spirits and so on. And I'm so fed up with those that you should be one thing or another, and people always put the tag on that you are a witch. I have never been a witch since I don't practice spellcraft. And magic is when you work with demons or angels. Everything else is sorcery or witchcraft. So that is my view, and that is a very old view of. So if you practice the PGM and you work with the Greek pantheon, that wouldn't be magic in my words. That would be sorcery or witchcraft, whatever you choose. And then there is something I can't stress out that I've learned. The demons don't make you evil, your choices do. And if you are ruled by all your desires of wealth or power, you are so easily manipulated or lured, both by people, both by consumerism and materialism and everything. So advertisers lure you, the spirits can lure you, and you're a slave. You will never get any true spiritual power unless you work that through first and then connect to the spirits. You don't get a high-ranking spirit when you are so easily ruled. You have to have your own authority and sovereignty. And that's all for now. And this was a lot of questions, and I would like to say that this beautiful card is painted by someone, I can't see it here, Risto Toivonen, who paints with his foot, and he is in Mun- och fotmålarna i Sverige AB. So he's painting this with his foot, and it came in through my mailbox yesterday. So I just wanted to show how beautiful, and I can't even draw a stick figure, and they can do it with their painting with their foot. So I just wanted to give them a little shout out. And have a magical day, and be inspired. And any requests for videos, please leave them, and I try to answer them after my best abilities. So, be inspired. Bye for now.